Good morning. It's Valentine's Day. It's Wednesday, February 14th. All three county commissioners are here. I ask we rise for a moment of silent meditation and then pledge to the flag. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We will have consents and approvals. County Administration. Good morning.
We have no exonerations to approve. Vouchers for General County, 344, 18044, 911, 2673.81, Chestnut Ridge Park, 680.85, Mason-Dixon Park, 945.75, Assessor's Valuation, 3,375.01, Recreation Levy, 315.25, Purchasing Card Vouchers, General County, 22,642.26, 911, 10,999.03, Chestnut Ridge Park, 203.10, for a voucher total of $386,015.50. We have the vacancies for boards and authorities, West Run Board of Zoning Appeals and the Planning Commission, fiduciary orders for February 14th, 2018, and then we also have a petition regarding of setting up a fiduciary hearing for the estate of John Peter Foster III on the resignation of an executor. So that will have to be voted on separately.
Okay, you want to separate? Let's separate the motion, so everything but the.
Move for approval.
Yeah.
Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now, for clarification again, what do we need?
Okay, so you have a petition in your fiduciary folder.
Okay.
Regarding setting a hearing, fiduciary hearing for the estate of John Peter Foster III. The executor wishes to resign, so
Okay, so,
at 10 o'clock on February 28th.
oh, it's on Wednesday. So do we
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
motion that we could have it at 10 o'clock on February 28th?
So moved. Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Okay, at this time, do we have an introduction of any new employees or personnel changes? Okay. At this time, do we have any comments from the public? Moving forward. Great. We have the Honorable Colleen Kuhn and Grants. See, I'm in a good mood. See, it's Valentine's Day.
Oh, that's very sweet. Okay, I have several
Thank you.
requests for reimbursements. The first one is the Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $1,030.40. And the next one is the JJDP DMC grant in the amount of $7,709.98. I have another JJDP. This is the Voices 2 in the amount of $2,273.57. I have the Governor's Highway Safety Program, Distracted Driving, $1,866.78. I have another Governor's Highway Safety Program. This one is the impaired driving. It's $4,235.47. I have another Governor's Highway Safety Program. This one is Click It or Ticket. It's $88.63. I have the Day Report Center grant in the amount of $15,119.48. And lastly, the VOCA grant in the amount of $5,186.91.
Move for approval. Second.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. It passes. Thank you. Okay. Correspondence. Letter received from the West Virginia Department of Transportation regarding the update on the Hartman Run Bridge replacement. Okay. I'm ecstatic to talk about this issue. In fact, all three county commissioners were very happy about this. Several years ago, when we built the Hartman Run Bridge, we had a contract, and it was before the two other, that's how long ago it was. We had the two other commissioners were not here. And in it, we gave $1 million or up to 20%. When we received the final bill and the request, the state had said that there was only $500 that we were going to get back. With the support of my colleagues, I worked with Renetta McClure, deserves a lot of credit, that we started to investigate this, found the contract, sent the information in, and with Don Williams, who is new, helped cut through the red tape we are pleased and excited to announce that that $500 is now in our coffers at $288,000. So it says a lot about my colleagues who are willing to accountability, and I only throw that out because of the situation with the alcohol situation, is if we have the information, we may be able to clarify a lot of issues. And I think this is a perfect example of the DOH working with us. I mean, I can't say enough for the colleagues for allowing us to continue to investigate, and that is a major difference. And I want to thank the DOH, and I look forward to the state tax office working with us also. So I'll say that. Would anyone like to?
One small correction, it
Sure.
was $288,000.27.
27 cents. Thank you. So we're very excited about that.
And we have the check.
Yes. And I want to clear, we had already encumbered that because we thought the money was coming to us. So we want that clear. So it isn't just additional funds, but it was funds that we believed should have been coming to us. Thank you very much. Okay, the next one is the memorandum opinion and order issued by the FCC regarding the petition for modification of satellite television markets of WDTV, WBOY, and WVFX. And you wanna
Yes,
extend-
we've just received notification from the FCC, which is actually a little bit ahead of schedule. They weren't supposed to issue anything until next month. But we had provided additional information, so I think it made it easy for them to make their decision. They have ordered that with respect to WBOY, WDTV, and WVFX, as they are now ordered to carry the local channels, which are Channel 5 and Channel 12,
Yes.
on satellite television now. It's not just based on certain zip codes that may or may not be relative to this county. It's going to be city of Morgantown, outlying areas. So we're very excited about that.
Essentially, we've been removed from the Pittsburgh area as a designee of the Pittsburgh arena. So that's really what's going. There's another letter that we're going to address later in new
Okay.
business. So.
Very excited. Yeah, that was something that the public wanted, and the three of us were able to come through. So it's,
So to clarify, this doesn't affect the Comcast issue?
Yes.
This is
No,
just...
just satellite.
Just satellite TV.
and that's a good issue because the Comcast is out of our hands right now because it's a business decision where this was a little bit different that we were able to intervene.
And
So,
the only outstanding thing is when it's actually effective.
yes. Do we have a date?
No, they didn't list a date on
Okay.
there. I would assume that that is going to be forthcoming.
Okay.
We probably will have some correspondence with DirecTV and Dish Network, I would assume, because they were obviously notified as well as we were, so.
Yes.
So it's not out there now. So
No,
people don't-
again,
not
people,
yet.
because I've already received phone calls, I can't get it yet. I said, and once we know, we will notify and have the media.
I know DirecTV had written us a letter saying that they were asking the FCC to do a sort of a timed rollout.
Oh, okay.
So it wouldn't hit all their expense at one time. They could do it maybe by zip code or by area or something.
Okay. Well, that's good and exciting news. Appreciate that. Unfinished business. Do we have any unfinished business? No. Okay. New business. This is very exciting too. Consideration to approve the proposed MOU by and between Monongalia County Commission and the Mylan Park Foundation regarding the development of building to house the Monongalia County Extension Service and other miscellaneous uses. Could I have a motion on the MOU and then we could have discussion?
A motion to approve the MOU.
Second.
Okay, we have properly moved in second. Did one of you want to just clarify or explain did anyone want to say anything?
Well, we have been in discussion about the possibility of possibly moving the extension office. This MOU has to do with actually so that the plans can be made for the possibility of this move to Mylan Park. So this would allow us to actually pay the architect to go ahead and give us a rendering that a decision could be made from to proceed.
Okay.
Yeah, and to clarify, the Mylan Park Foundation, in our discussions in good faith, had started that process with the architect. They're the ones hiring the architect. They're the ones who will be building the building. But what this MOU does is formalizes that relationship so that they can recoup those costs.
I think the
And
other
we-
thing
and we
that
can
to
move
be,
forward.
yeah, the other thing to be understood is that since Mylan Park is a private foundation, this, even though there is an expenditure involved, it's not a bid process. It is an agreement through Mylan Park, so.
Well, it's been properly moved in second. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I think it's just an excellent addition. The next one is to consider an increase in the funding appropriated to Caritas House for warming shelter operations during the 2017-2018 winter season. Before we move forward, I ask if we could suspend the rules, if Mr. Psycho, Justin Psycho's here, to just explain what was going on, and then we'll explain.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for having me here
morning.
this morning. Basically, in 2015, we started a warming center up on our property to cover the overflow for Bartlett House when they hit capacity and when the temperatures reach 34 degrees or lower. We have successfully run that since 2015. This year, $5,000 was allocated by the commission to run that program. To date, we have expended $7,693.82 through the 6th of February. I understand that it was over in the terms of $2693.82. Basically, what that constitutes in terms of cost is we had contracted last year with the Coordinating Council on Homelessness and with In Touch and Concern to provide transportation and reimbursement for monitoring staff, some basic amenities that we provide people there, and transportation fees. We'd like to continue that possibility of extending this through the month of February for 15 more days. Basically, that would give us to increase to $5693.82, with the idea being that it's reimbursement. If we don't hit those temperatures and those issues, then we do not open the facility.
Do I have a motion and discussion?
Motion to approve with discussion?
Second?
Okay, properly moved in second. Go ahead.
Yeah, and this is another one of those things in this county that it's wonderful that you're providing this service. It's unfortunate the service has to be provided, but there's a lot of things like that with like all the food bank giveaways. So this is a good service that you're providing, and I'm in favor of increasing their allotted amount.
And it's impossible to predict the weather.
Yes, sir. And-
So, to make an estimate based on weather patterns is,
Absolutely. I watch the weather very
It was-
carefully.
I understand. It was much warmer last year than it
Yes.
was this year.
Yes,
so-
and
but,
hopefully, we might be through with it, but,
Yeah, but that's
it always hits in the
We
middle of March, it
understand.
seems.
Well, don't let the warm weather fool you. It's supposed to get cold again this
Yes,
weekend.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's been properly moved in second to approve the request from the Caritas House. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We all, aye, it passes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you, sirs.
Okay, consideration to approve Project Lifesaver Device contract between the Mon County Commission, the Mon County Sheriff Department, and the Blacksville Volunteer Fire Department.
This contract is for a piece of equipment, and I was hoping the sheriff was going to be here, but a piece of equipment that was formerly used by the Star City Police Department.
Oh, that's right.
But they no longer have anyone trained on that piece of equipment. So they are now going to, and this is a piece of equipment that the commission had given funding for several years ago. So it's technically the commission's equipment. So that's why you guys are involved in the new contract. So it's between the Blacksville Fire Department, and this is a tracking device. And they actually have people trained to use it at the Blacksville Fire Department.
Good.
So this is just an agreement that just needs to be approved through the commission.
Move for approval.
A second with discussion. What does the actual equipment do?
I think that's why I was hoping the sheriff would be here, because I'm
I'm
not
sorry.
exactly sure. I think it has, like GPS capabilities.
I think you wear a
So
bracelet or something.
The people that have the bracelets, that the fire department will
Right.
be able to
And
track
the
them.
people wearing the bracelets are like our senior citizens.
Senior
Exactly.
citizens, I think.
I just wanted to clarify that for the public.
People with special needs that.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It passes. Thank you. Okay, consideration of drafting the letter to Comcast regarding the airing of WBOY TV.
I asked this be placed on the agenda because I would like to also include Atlantic Cable Company, which services a portion of Monongalia County, as well as Kingwood and some other areas in Preston County. It's just simply a letter that I would like for us to consider drafting as a nice request to please go ahead and look at, since we've got the other information that we just reviewed later, look at adding WBOY TV, Channel 12, to the Comcast as well as the Atlantic Cable, so that individuals in these areas, which are now properly designated, would be able to receive the local news, the local weather, the local school, cancellations, all these things that are integral information that we know was lost. I don't think it would hurt. I spoke with the commissioners in Preston County. They are willing to make this a joint letter, so we would be able to at least nicely request that this be done. So I would move that we do so.
A second?
Okay, just for clarification, point of information, this would then go in a work session, so we would discuss it, because I would have difficulty only sending it to Comcast if we didn't send it to WBOY, because I believe that the problem is not with Comcast, but it is with WBOY. So I would feel more comfortable if we would send it to both, asking them to work it out. Is that a problem?
No, send it.
Then-
I'm
Yeah.
willing to look at the
Is that
station.
both?
as
Yeah,
well.
that
Yes,
both. Thank you.
both parties as well as Atlantic.
Okay, great. Then it's prop moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Okay, do we have any other new business? Okay, seeing none, do you have any reports from elected officials? Anything? Okay, they're not showing up anymore.
Oh, actually, I do have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
It didn't make it onto the agenda, but I believe we had one person left that needed to be appointed to the audit committee. That was somebody outside the county.
Oh, yes.
And Dominic Claudio, that serves on the, part of Star City Council, serves on the Development Authority. I believe Commissioner Sikora had talked to him, and he is
good.
willing to do that. So I think that was the last part that we needed to do so they could get started on reviewing the proposals.
Do I have a motion to appoint Dominic
Motion to
Claudio?
appoint Dominic Claudio to the audit committee.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Great. Reports from county commissioners. Ed, your turn.
Okay. Well, wish everybody, of course, a happy Valentine's Day from my romantic point of view. I did have a meeting Thursday with WVU's Dean of Extension, so there was some discussion about this memorandum of understanding. And the Met Theater Board did meet. This board has become very vibrant. I think you're going to see some good things at the Met Theater. I did attend the WVU Children's Hospital Gala Saturday night. I was allowed to, purchase a ticket. It was a wonderful event. I would like to congratulate all those individuals who worked so hard. I believe there were about 1,500 people there at the waterfront, of which I don't think I knew 1,300 of them. But congratulations again to everybody who worked so hard. We did spend Sunday, Commissioner Sikora and I, Monday and Tuesday at the West Virginia Association of County, their annual conference, and happy to report that all 55 counties were represented. There was some discussion of some things that I will let Commissioner Sikora tell you about so that I don't hog everything. And lastly, Friday, February 16th, is the anniversary of my grandfather buying Hawkins Dairy, the land, taking title to the deed in 1918. So we have been 100 years in Monongalia County, but the first 100 years were in Marion County, but it was part of Monongalia County at the time, so I will claim Hawkins residency for 200 years in this county. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Sean?
Okay, and it has been a busy couple weeks here. Last week I had my Development Authority meeting on Thursday, and then on Friday I volunteer every year to support the Department of Energy Science Bowl. Middle school competition happened on Friday at the Lair, and I'm pleased to announce that once again, in the 5 years of the middle school competition, all 5 years, the top two teams have been two teams from Suncrest. So once again, this year, Suncrest took on Suncrest for the finals, and Suncrest 2 won this year. This year is the battle of the second teams. So I congratulate the Suncrest teams, their coaches, but I also want to congratulate, there's two other Mon County schools that finished in the top 8. So Mon County was very well represented. These are 24 teams across the state. 3 backed out for travel reasons, so we ended up having 21, but of those 8, the top 8, we had 4 teams in the top 8. Mountaineer Middle finished 6th, and St. Francis finished 7th.
Great.
On Saturday, we have the high school competition, which again this year we had Morgantown playing Morgantown for the final, and again it was Morgantown High, the second team, beating Morgantown High's first team for the title and the chance to go on to be in the final 64 teams and the competition is being held in D.C. So it's pretty impressive just going there every year. I love going there, and these kids make me feel so dumb. On Saturday, Congressman McKinley was there and watched one of the competitions, and he happened to be in my room, and I just watch his face as these kids were asking questions, or they're answering questions, and he's like, the question would come up, and he'd go, he couldn't answer it. I mean, and he's an engineer. So, and he said himself that it helps him feel younger when he comes to these events to see, and it makes you feel good about the future of our state and our county specifically. As Ed mentioned, the Children's Ball was last Saturday, and that was the first time I ever attended it. And it was a wonderful event. It raises money for Children's Hospital, and it's there's a lot of heartwarming stories that are shared. So I really enjoyed spending time at that. We did go to the conference on Sunday. We had some events Sunday night, and then Monday and Tuesday we had the West Virginia Association of Counties. And I thought it was a pretty informative event. It was just the right mix of informative meetings. One thing that I can report, Tom, with all the things going on about the teacher's pay raise,
Yes.
That's all kind of taken front page and kind of sucked the oxygen out of Charleston. So a lot of these other things that we are worried about, I've been told that the inventory tax is dead, that it probably will not make it. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
I know that eventually we have to work something out, because we all agree that it's something we'd like to do away with eventually. The only problem is trying to figure out how to make up the revenue. And with Mon County, that may not be as much of an issue, but a lot of counties it would bankrupt. And there was a lot of conversation about the regional jail bill. The way it stands now, they were able, I think when we went down to the first conference, our commissioners conference, they didn't have the language in there about at time of conviction. They have that language back in there now.
Good.
And they were talking about raising the per diem. They've locked that in at 48.25. So there's good things in that regard. I also talked regarding the extension office building. I did talk with Commissioner Leonhardt, and he said I'm all in on being part of that, or having some office space in that building and having a permanent presence in Mon County. So he said, just we'll get together and we'll work out the details. But he specifically came over to tell me at my table that he's all in, and he wanted to make sure we knew that. The last day, the state auditor, J.B. McCuskey, did a presentation on the new W checkbook program, and he had talked about that when we met him when he first came in office. And what this is it's his initiative that he campaigned on, and he finally kicked off the website last week, and he came to show us and talk about the actual website. He had offered to any county to come visit the county and explain his website and ask any questions, look for areas of improvement. And I took him up on that offer, and he replied right back, let me know when. I mean, he was ready to come this week. So I told him we would talk and set a date. And I told him it'd be a good opportunity for him to come and talk to not only commission, but talk to clerk and all the other elected office, and even get the Board of Education in here so he can talk to one Mon County in one meeting.
Okay.
So he agreed. And I did ask him some questions about information that was up on those websites. Specifically, right now, the historical data goes back to 2014. Well, I was interested in 2013 data with dealing with this
Exactly.
issue with the liquor tax. So I explained to him why I asked that question, and he offered to help. So that's all we'll have I want to talk with have all of us talk
Yep.
and decide what that help looks like. But he said his exact words were, "I'll walk down the hall and ask the question now." So I think we can utilize him to help us get an answer regarding the liquor tax issue that we've been dealing with. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, and we didn't mention when we talked about the FCC decision, that I thank the Preston County Commissioners, Craig Jennings and Don Smith, for working with us on that initiative, because they were part of that
Yes.
that request to the FCC, and obviously when you have two counties, I think that helped a lot. So I made sure that they knew that we were appreciative of that, and they were appreciative of us of our efforts. Tomorrow, this week continues to be a busy week. As you said, as today's Valentine's Day, it's also Ash Wednesday, and that hasn't happened in 60 years. It's a kind of it's an odd mix, because if you're Catholic and you give up certain things for rent, most Catholics assume that's dessert, chocolate stuff, which all goes with Valentine's Day. So luckily I have an understanding wife, but I wish everybody happy Valentine's Day, and also the beginning of Lent, Ash Wednesday.
Thank you.
Now, I'd like for
Go ahead.
anybody who has noticed that to go back a year from now and see how eloquent this commissioner has become in his speaking, because I remember a year ago I was trying to pry words out of him. Now he's
You never said
excellent.
anything.
Yes.
I give it's all credit to osmosis.
No,
One other thing, I do have my first Mylan Park Board meeting tomorrow, and again, I'm glad to be back in Monongalia County.
Thank you. I was fortunate on Sunday, Delegate Barbara Fleischauer could not attend the Chinese Spring Festival Gala, and asked if I would sit in for her. And it was amazing. It was the first time I had ever been there. And I was really appreciative, and I did give you some food that they had given to us. I do want to say, though, that I was very lucky. They put me at the dignitary table, which was shocking. And as we talked, and there were several representatives from Pittsburgh and D.C., I started to talk about the Western TIF and our business district. They were very interested, and I am supposed to send them a letter to see if they would come down to look about possible investments there. So it was very exciting. They also, we talked about is it the $8 billion that the Chinese?
yes.
$88 billion.
Yes.
And I did learn, and they were very careful to tell me that they said, quote, "It's in paper only."
Yes.
And I thought that was very interesting how they said that, because
It's
they
an
asked if
MOU.
we knew any details, and I said, no, we didn't. Did he? And he said, no, it's still in paper details. But it was a very exciting time, and I appreciate going there. I got to speak to a class on land management, which was not really my area, but we did get into farm preservation, subdivision. So it was a really interesting discussion. I was really pleased to do that. And I also want to say that we, on Saturday, have the first Saturday food giveaway at Clinton Fire Hall. And I'm expecting a huge turnout because it's Saturday and we were able to do it for a lot of people who are working. So I look forward to that. I have nothing else. Is there any other?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Properly moved and second. We are adjourned. Thank you.